Welcome to Web Programming Module 1. On the second part of this module, we will be talking about variables and constants. But before that, we will discuss the different data types in JavaScript. Data types in JavaScript are 6. These are string, number, Boolean, object, array, and function. We will discuss the first 3 of these data types. The first one is the string data type. The string data type is used to represent textual data or group of characters. A string is a sequence of letters, numbers, special characters, and arithmetic values or combination of all. String can be created by enclosing the string either within the single quote or the double quote. How do we declare the string data type in JavaScript? Well, it is as simple as putting the keyword var and then the variable. In our case, we used a, and then the equal sign. We assign the value hello world in the variable a with single quote. On the second example, which is variable b, var b is equals to hello world. This time we used double quote. Now let's see how we can use this data type in our JavaScript program. First, we need the HTML structure, of course. We'll just change this title to JavaScript data type string. And then inside the body, we put the script tag and then the end tag script because we're going to use JavaScript. And then we declare the variable. A is equals to single quote hello world, and then the semicolon at the end of the statement, of course. And then the second one, we use the double quote hello world. Oops. Double quote, semicolon. Now we display the output and see how JavaScript interprets these two variables. A, and we put break for the next line, and then document that write b semicolon. Don't forget the semicolon. And then we're going to save this file as an HTML file. Save as, and then look for the hypertext markup language file. There you go. And then we're going to change the name to JS data type string. Be sure you know where you save your file. Okay, and then we go to the folder. We open the file using our browser, and then the output will be this hello world to hello world. Okay, that's our title. The first one is variable a. That's the first hello world that you see on top using single quote, and the one at the bottom is the variable b, which uses two double quote. So that is how we use string in JavaScript. The next data type that we will discuss is the number data type. Now, unlike other programming language, JavaScript has only one type of number. Other programming language, you have to declare if the number that you will be using is a whole number, or if it has a decimal point or an exponent. The number data type in JavaScript represent positive or negative number, with or without decimal place, or numbers written using exponential notation. Looking on the example, we have variable a. The first one is a is equals to 25. 25 is an integer. It is a whole number. The variable b is 80.5. It has a decimal. It's a floating point number. But if you will notice, the have the same declaration. The keyword variable, the keyword var, and then the variable, and then you assigned any type of number that you like. In our case, we have integer, we have floating point, and we also have two exponential notation here. Now let's see how the number data type is used in JavaScript. We'll just go back on our program. This time we change the title because we will be talking about data types. So we remove string. We will change the title here. There you go. And then we declare variables. Okay. We will try the integer and the decimal. Okay. Var c is equals to 25, whole number. Then we're going to try a number with a decimal. D is equals to 5.5, and then the semicolon. Now let's use this variable to just display document dot write the first variable c. We put break for the next line. I'm going to put break also here for the variable c, which is 25, to go down another line, and then we will use the variable d, which is 5.5, and then the break. Okay, now we're going to try to add the two variables. One is a whole number and one is 5.5, which has a decimal point, and we'll see how JavaScript interprets these two variables with two different values. Semicolon. Okay, don't forget to save the file. And then refresh. And so the answer is 25 because C, we declared C as 25. We also declared D as 5.5. Now adding the two, even though they don't have the same format, one is a whole number and one is with a decimal, the answer is 30.5. There you go. And so that is how JavaScript interprets the number data type. Now the next data type is a Boolean data type in JavaScript. Boolean data type. Boolean data type can hold only two values. Okay, it's true or false. This is also equivalent to yes if it's true, or no if it's false. It can also be on if it's true, or off if it's false. It comes also as a result when you use a comparison in JavaScript programming. Now, how do we declare Boolean data type? Just as how we declare the string data type and the number data type, Boolean is also declared just like so. We put the keyword var and then the variable. In our case, we used isReading, and then the value we assign is true. The second example is sleeping, and the value we put is false. Now let's try using Boolean data type in our JavaScript program. So we go back to the program we have a while ago. We declare here var, we'll use isTyping, and then the value is false. All right. Now we will use that variable and we will see what the output will be. isTyping, and then we put the break. Okay, semicolon, and then we're going to try the comparison and see what the output will be. Document.write, we will compare the variable that we used a while ago, C and D. C is greater than D, and then we will save the file and go back to the browser and see the output. The output is false and true. Now, how did it came up with that output? Well, his typing is false, okay, because we declared it as false. Now, the second one is true because C is greater than D. Going back on the variable that we declared, 25 is really greater than 5.5. That is why it's true. And so that is how you use the Boolean data type in Java. Now let's go to JavaScript variables. JavaScript variables are containers for storing data values. We also have the JavaScript identifiers. All JavaScript variables must be identified with the unique names. These unique names are called identifiers, and we have rules and conventions in naming variables. First, names can contain letters, digits, underscores, and dollar signs. Names must begin with a letter. Names are case sensitive if you are going to use the uppercase X, and so you have to use the uppercase X through the duration of your program. The uppercase X is different from the variable lowercase x. Reserved words are also not allowed to be used as unique identifiers. And as we go along to the duration of this course, we will also be discussing the different JavaScript keywords which should not be used when you are naming variables. Okay, let's move on with the different JavaScript operators. We have different categories of operators in JavaScript. These are symbols or keywords that tell the JavaScript engine to perform some sorts of action. Example, the addition or the plus symbol, the plus sign, is an operator that tells JavaScript engine to add two variables or values, while the equal to, the greater than symbol, or the less than symbol, these are the operators that tells JavaScript engine to compare two variables or values, and so on. The arithmetic operators, these are the operators that used to perform arithmetical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and in programming we have modulus. It is the result of this is the remainder of the uh, dividend and the divisor. Let's try it in our program. And so we opened the program. We declare another variable here, 10, and then variable f is equals to 3, and then variable g is equals to 2. Okay, so let's try the modulus division and let's see what the modulo will be. Okay, modulo is the result when you use the modulus operator. Okay, so we will first try 10 and 3. Okay, and then we're going to try also 10 and 2. That is E modulus division G. Alright, so we save the file and we'll see what the modulo is. 1 and 0. Now, how did it came up to be 1 and 0? Let's see. Okay, 10 divided by 3 It's 3. We have a remainder. And so the answer is 1. Okay? The next example is 10 divided by 2. That is 5. We don't have any remainder. And so the answer is 0. And so that is how modulus work in JavaScript. Okay? We also have the assignment operators. Here we assign values to variables. Here are the sets of operator, the assign, add and assign, subtract and assign, multiply and assign, divide and assign, quotient, divide and assign, modulus. Aside from the assignment operators, we also have the increment and decrementing operators. These are used to increment and decrement a variable's value. These are the symbols, the operators. We have the pre-increment, the post-increment, the pre-decrement, and post-decrement. From the word itself, the pre, when you say pre-increment, it increments by 1, the value of the variable by 1 first, and then it returns the value. In post-increment, it will return the value first and then do the incrementation. Okay? So let's try pre-increment and post-increment. Okay? Let's go back to the program that we have. Okay. E++. And then we have the F, sorry. And then we will see the value. E is 10, remember, and F is 3. Let's see the output. 10 and 4. Now, how did that happen? 10, E. So it displayed the value first and then add 1, which we didn't see because we displayed the value first. That's why the answer is 10. And the one is ++F. We increment first, and then we display the value. That's why the answer is 4. And so that is all for the operators. Now, on the 2 part of this module, we have learned about the history of JavaScript along with its data types, variables, and constants. We also discussed different operators in JavaScript and how we can use them. The next module, which is module 2, we will learn how to use the building blocks in all programming languages, the iterative statement, and the conditional statement. Thank you.